Hi everybody, Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm here with day 2 of my online class to go for the week using the Boho Vibes suite from the annual catalog. I'm so excited to share these two fun folds today with you. We did 2 regular cards yesterday. We are going to do 2 fun fold cards today, and then tomorrow we will do a 3D item. So I'm excited to jump in with this with you today. First of all, before I do that, my casing through the catalog card that we're going to case from the catalog is going to come from the Extraordinary Flora suite in the annual catalog, and it uses that beautiful wide washi tape that has a special die that coordinates with it, and that's going to be super fun. And then I think that'll be at about 4 o'clock today. I have an appointment at 1:30, and so I should be back and ready to go by 4. Hi, Roz. Thanks for joining me. So that'll be at 4 o'clock today. You'll want to jump in because the card is beautiful, and I'm going to show you how to use that washi tape and add some special elements to your card. Okay, next, the suites that I'm talking about, the one that I'm talking about today and the one that is this afternoon, are all buy one get one half off. So if you're interested in either of those bundles today, that is the best way for you to get the most for your money. And then also you can get this week's online card class to go in the mail. And last but not least, I have a cone flower celebrations class coming up on July the 19th. It's in person or to go. In person, it's on July the 19th. To go, it'll be shipped out on July the 19th with all the parts and the PDF and everything you need to put 8 beautiful cards together. So the registration link for that was in my email today, and it'll also be in the description after this video is over. All right, so here we go. Hello everyone. When you jump on, please let me know you're here. I always like to see my friends jump in. So this week our online card, I keep saying card class, it is mostly cards. 4 cards, 2 regular cards, 2 fun folds, and then tomorrow's 1 fun fold, 1 3D item. We are using the Boho Vibe Suite. Talked about this quite a bit yesterday. I love the color combinations that are in here. We have Petal Pink, Cloud Cover, Secret Sea, Mossy Meadow, Daffodil Delight, and Cajun Craze are all in this DSP. Okay, here's the DSP here. Definitely has boho vibes, right? You can get the whole suite. You can get the stamp set and dies, the muted dots, and the DSP for $63. Okay, if you add another suite onto your order, then one of them will be 50% off, whichever one is the most expensive. So I'm excited to show you what we're doing today. I just realized that I don't think I grabbed the 2 cards that I made yesterday, so I'm going to jump up here and grab those real quick so that you can see those again. I loved them. So these are the 2 cards that we made yesterday. Nice pretty thank you card with that Daffodil Delight. And then the inside just had some little stamping in the corner there. This was made with all those dies that come in that die bundle for this suite. So I love it. And then this was a super simple sunshiny card, sending good vibes with the sunshine in the middle. These were our 2 more simple cards. Actually, today's fun folds are not overly complicated. So here's another look at the suite kind of in my hand. The paper, the muted dots, the die set, and the stamp set. Okay, I've pulled out all the stamps that I'm using today. So there we go. All right, let's get started. Let's tuttle up and get some stamping done. This is what the PDF looks like that you will get if you buy the class to go. It gives you all the products used, all the measurements, And then you can always, what the inside of the card looks like. We give these out with every one of our online classes to go, okay? So I just wanted you to see what that looked like. All right, first fun fold card for today is this cute, definitely has boho vibes. Yep. Hi, Robin. Thanks for coming in. And it opens like this and then like that. A lovely place to write your note. I love this fun fold, and it's pretty simple to do. So we're going to do this one first. Okay, so pull out my parts here. I have a piece of cardstock in petal pink. It was cut 4 1/4 by 11. Scored in the middle at 5 1/2. We do this pretty often, right? But then I flipped it over like this. I put it on my paper trimmer. I lined up the score line in the tip of this corner, and then I sliced it off at a diagonal, okay? So this is gonna be our card base. Now I also cut a piece of our DSP 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to cut this one on a diagonal as well. So what I've learned is the best way to cut on the diagonal is that I kind of put my corner up against, there's these 2 raised edges right here between our channel right there. So I found that if I put my tip in that channel and then I just pivot this tip until it hits that corner right there, I can get a really good clean diagonal cut. Okay, there we go. So this is our diagonal cut. I'm going to take the top piece and adhere it to the inside of my card base right like that. Grab my liquid glue. So are you guys having a great day today? I think I'm throwing people off by coming in a little early today, even though I announced it yesterday that I would be. I have an appointment at 1 o'clock, and I just wanted to make sure I didn't feel rushed here by coming on at noon. So thanks for joining me a little bit early. I used liquid glue so that I could have some wiggle room here of getting that all straight on my card right there, okay? And then I'm gonna take this panel and add it to the front right here, right like that, okay? And it looks pretty cohesive across my card because of the way I cut it. So I will be back at 4 o'clock today, in case you didn't hear me say that, for my Casing the Catalog project. And today's project comes from the Extraordinary Flora suite, and it is the one that has the washi tape that coordinates with it, and you're gonna love it. It's a beautiful card. So come back at 4 and watch me do that. Okay, so now I have another piece of petal pink, and it is cut 7 1/2 by 3 1/2 and scored down the middle at 3 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to fold this in half, line up those edges really well here. Here we go. And my bone folder is going to help me get a really nice crease on that. Okay, and so for the inside of this card, I have, well, inside and outside, I have 2 pieces of cardstock. 3 inches by 3 1/4 are my 2 basic whites. And then my secret C is 3 3/8 by 3 1/8. Okay, 3 3/8 by 3 1/8. So I'm going to stamp first, and then I'm going to put them on my secret C panels here. Okay, so for stamping, I am going to grab my, let's do the inside first, secret C. and my petal pink. Move this off to the side here for just a second. Okay. So, petal pink, secret seed. For the inside, I'm going to take my stamp that doesn't seem to be out here. So let me grab it from inside here. I want this one that is these little lines right here. Can you see that? Little lines. Okay, I'm going to put it on a small block. And then I also want this sunburst kind of stamp here. Okay, so I'm going to start on the inside by stamping my sunburst right in my corner right there. And then I'm going to grab these. Darn. You know what? I'm going to flip this over. I got a little ink on that other side. So let me try that again. Secret C right in the corner right there. And then my petal pink. I'm going to have one right here. And then one right up here. Just a little detail on the inside that is going to bring everything together. Okay. I want to put these away because I'm afraid I'll put my hands in them, but I need them for the other side. So this is going to go on top of this secret C right here. I just put a new fresh seal in my refill. I put a new refill in right before we started today. That was not good. I must have petal pink on my hands somewhere here. I feel like I'm getting it all over my... You know what? I'm going to leave well enough alone. We're just going to leave it. It's a little tiny crooked, but that's what makes homemade cards special, right? And then this is going to go on the inside of my card base here. There we go. Cute, right? All right, now I'm going to wipe my hands off really good here. Okay, the outside now. I'm going to start with my sunshine here. And I need my Daffodil Delight. I'm going to use all these colors that are in the DSP for this one, except for the cloud cover. Okay, so I'm going to stamp a sun right up here. And I'm going to try my best to make it into a circle. Pretty good, right? Okay, I think that's all I need for my Daffodil Delight. And then I have my leaves here, and I'm going to stamp them in Mossy Meadow, going across the front of my card right here. Overlapping that sunshine, right like that. And then I can put that away. I'm going to take these little line designs and I'm going to stamp, not in that color. Let's clean that off. I need that to be in this petal pink right here. So I'm just going to kind of randomly add some of these petal pink lines to this image right here. Maybe another one down here. All right, I can put that away. And then my secret C. I'm going to grab my starburst image and stamp some starbursts on the front right there. Okay, Now I'm going to grab some cloud cover paper. I feel like I should have one in here. Yep, I do. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the front here, and I'm going to use liquid glue so I get it on just a little bit more straight. There we go. And this is going to go on the front here of this insert card that's going to go on the inside. And maybe I really used dimensionals. I did. So it's not going to hurt it that I just put seal on there. I'm just going to add some dimensionals over top of it. There we go. So how is your day going today, people? I have had a busy morning of designing this morning. I've got a lot of things coming up. I've got my craft along, which will be next week, but I have an in-person craft along this Friday night. Some of my local people said, can we do it all together? And I was like, sure. So we're doing the craft along in person this Friday night. And then it will be online next week on Monday. So I'm stamping hello on Secret C on a 1/2 inch strip here of cloud cover ink. Stamp that right there. Hello, darling. Okay, and I'm just going to cut this apart. Before I adhere this to the front of my card, though, I'm going to add some. So I'm just cutting the excess off here that I don't need, okay? Using a straight cut with my scissors, right like that. All right, but before I put this down, I'm going to add some linen thread to this corner with a faux bow. You know me and my faux bows, right? Here we go. It's my faux bow. Faux bow just means I'm not going to really tie it in a bow. It's going to look like a bow, but it's really not going to have a knot in the middle. Sometimes the knots, when you put them underneath labels, it makes it pop up a little bit too much. It doesn't always lay flat like I want it to. Okay, so this is going to go right here. I'm going to add my tearing tape to just hold it in place right there. There we go. Right like that. Cut the ends off here. Okay, so I have my hello, darling. This is going to get popped up on dimensionals right here. Hello, darling. There we go. And two more. So I'm going to put the darling on first because I want to make sure I get a good placement of it. And it's going to go right here in this bottom corner. I like a little bit of white around it. And then hello is just going to pop right on top of that. There we go. Cute, right? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put this on the inside. So this is going to go right here on the inside of my card. So since my card is 5.5, I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3/4 both ways right there. And then I can kind of see my center. It just helps me visualize that. Okay, so I'm going to add some Seal Plus here. Okay, here we go. 2 3/4 on either side, and then this will get centered right in the middle right here. So now I can lift this up, fold this in, fold it down. Okay, only one thing left to do on this card, and that is to add some of my matte dots. Okay, so how do you get this card class to go? You place an order of $50 or more, and I will send it to you in the mail. And if you place a $60 order, I will include the dots, these dots that I have in my hand. So I'm going to try to sneak this one kind of right there under the hello. There we go. And I feel like it needs one more, right? We need 5. So maybe right here. How cute is that? So it lifts up this way, write a note inside. Hello, darling. Super cute little fun fold card. Okay? Now, that was card number 3. Tell me what you think about it. Send me some love, some thumbs up, whatever your heart tells you. Helps me know that you're there and that you're enjoying what I'm creating. Okay, so that's card number 3. Now, our last fun fold is my favorite because you guys know I love me a good easel card, right? So, I created an easel card using all the dies here, and then this opens up and it sits on that easel right like that. So when the person is looking at it on their little desk, this is what they see. How cute is that? Okay, so I'm going to show you how we made this. We put that to the side. Okay, so this is what I've done ahead of time. I think I don't have this scored right, but we're going to make it scored right. Okay, so I have this scored at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. This is a 4 1/4 by 11-inch panel, and I have it scored at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. Now, I just noticed that this diagonal line is not in the right spot, so let's put it in the right spot. Okay, so I'm going to put my top right corner into that canal right there. I'm going to line it up with this 4 1/4 inch score line right here. And then keep that cutting blade out of the way. Give it a good score on the diagonal right like that. Okay? Now, this piece is going to go back like that. It's going to create kind of a bookbinding fold. And then this piece is going to go this way so that this will sit up right like that. Okay? So now all we have to do is put all of our parts on here. I have a piece of cloud cover that is 1 1/8 by 4 1/8. So this is 4 1/4. So this is going to get adhered right here on this book binding. And I'm going to use my liquid glue because I know you guys are awful quiet out there today. It's making me nervous. I hope that I'm broadcasting where I should be. Okay, so there's my cloud cover right there. Next, I have another cloud cover that's going to go on the inside. And then I should have a couple of pieces of DSP here. Here we go. This is the piece that I'm going to use right here on top of the cloud cover. Okay, it's the one with the kind of zigzaggy designs. I'm going to add some liquid glue to this. And it's going to go right here on this side. Right there. Perfect. All right. Now, this piece of cloud cover is 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. And I have a piece of DSP that is 4 by 4. And I'm going to add my DSP right on top of that cloud cover panel. There's my people. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for watching. It was so quiet. I'm like, gosh, I can't tell if anybody's out there or not. So thanks for joining me, Kathy. I appreciate it, and letting me know you're here. That's always helpful. Okay, so this panel right here is going to end up going right here, and it's going to be part of our fun fold that folds up at a diagonal like that. I do too, Kathy. They're just so much fun, right? That's why they're called fun folds, I suppose. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Let me think about this. If I want to go ahead and add this to this, let's do it. So along this diagonal right here, I'm going to add some liquid glue just in this triangular corner right here. I'm going to get it close to that edge right there. Okay, and then this is going to go right on top of just that bottom triangle, because you don't want it to glue to the top or it won't easel up the way we want it to. Okay, there we go. Press it all down, and then you see it's going to easel up like that. It's going to work perfectly. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and tie my ribbon around this edge right here. So between these two score lines right here, I'm going to add some Seal Plus. Okay, an extensive amount of Seal Plus. Okay, I kind of want to get it close to that score line, but not over it. Okay, I'm going to grab my Secret C ribbon. You guys know I'm in love with this ribbon. Have you figured that out? We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit more. That's how I know I'm going to have enough to tie a bow. Okay? All right, so I'm going to fold this, put the ribbon down on this side right here. Okay, I think I need a little more below than up top, and then I'm just going to press this down, and it's going to hold that ribbon in place right there for us. Okay, and then I'm going to tie it in a bow right up here in this top left corner. How's the weather in Lincoln, Nebraska today? We are at 90 degrees today, no humidity. It's kind of a perfect Midland day, really. I don't mind 90s, low 90s especially. There we go. There's our bow. Cute, cute, cute. So I don't want you guys to miss out on this sweet sale. So if you haven't bought the sweets that you love yet, you need to do that, because this sale is going to end soon. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead, I think, and deal with the inside here of my card base. So I'm going to add, how about I do some stamping first? I'm going to stamp some stars in the bottom left, right corner here. Just randomly. Maybe one more right there. One more down here. There we go. Then I'm going to take a scrap of basic white, and I'm going to stamp on it I just realized I don't have that piece here, so let me grab some basic white. And I'm going to stamp on this scrap of basic white here. Sending Good Vibes. And it's going to be stamped in my Daffodil Delight on my scrap of white here. I've told you, Kathy, I love the name Charlotte. I think it's such a pretty name. So distinctive, right? Okay, Sending Good Vibes. There we go. I'm going to grab my Stylish Shapes, and I'm going to cut this out with my Stylish Shape die right there. Now, while I'm die cutting, this is what I've learned since I've struggled with my wrist and die cutting here. Sending Good Vibes. I'm going to tape that into place. I have a piece of Secret C here that is, let's see, 3 7/8 by 3 7/8 is what it looks like. And I'm going to grab my dies and I'm going to cut out of this the rainbow that cuts the rainbow. So the outside was that part that we used yesterday for the outside edge. This is going to be the one that's going to cut all of those little rainbow sections there. So I'm going to add it right here on my Secret C and get a piece of tear and tape. I'm going to line it up right like that. And I'm going to run these through here. Okay, when I pull these off, I've got my stitch circle here, Sending Good Vibes, and I want to show you what happens with these rainbow pieces here. So here's my rainbow pieces, and all of these little pieces are going to fall out, you see, and it's going to leave this cutout version of the rainbow. I think that's super cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish on the inside real quickly. And then I will show you how to put this onto the outside. I love how so this is going to just get popped up right here in this corner. And that is what that easel is going to stand up on. We're going to put it on dimensionals. And then that easel will have a lip, a raised edge, right, to help it stand up. There we go, Sending Good Vibes. So cute, right? Okay, then this is going to get put on this cloud cover panel right here. And then the whole thing is going to get adhered to the inside. That is the only place I've ever found the Post-it note tape, Kathy. And I feel like it would probably be cheaper if we could find it you know, in a store. I have looked and I've just never found it in a store. So I've always had to resort to, I will say, once you get it, it does last for a very long time. So I think in the last 5 or 6 years, I've only had to order, and I order them 2 at a time, 2 rolls at a time. I think I've only had to reorder 1 time. So it does last a long time once you get it. Okay, so this panel's going to go right here on the inside. And honestly, I can't even tell you how much I paid for it. So, but that is the only place I've ever found it, is on Amazon. I've looked. I looked at Walmart. I looked at Target. I looked at Office Depot. I've never found the tape there. Okay, so now this panel Look how cute that is. I love how uh, the paper shows through that rainbow and just kind of accentuates it, don't you? So I'm going to pop this up. So I'm going to use some well-placed dimensionals here. There we go. I'm going to put as many around here as I can. And I even added some slivers. Okay, so this edge right here, I cut it in half, right down the edge right there. And then I took this sheet and cut it, this strip, and cut it into several pieces just so that I can put a few inside these little rainbow edges here. So I'm going to put one right here. I don't know if anybody has found a better way to do this for these tiny little beams, but this is what worked for me. This is my second of 2 cards, Lisa. So yeah, you might want to watch the replay. And you guys, do you know that you can watch the replay on faster speed? So you just go down to like the wagon wheel that's at the bottom of the screen, and you can replay it a little bit faster if you don't want to sit through the whole. Of course, I'm not offended by that because I do it myself. That way I can watch more faster, right? Okay, so I'm just taking these backings off of each of these dimensionals here. We are pretty close to being done with this card. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. Yeah, I had to come on a little early today, Lisa, because I have an appointment at 1 and I didn't want to go over time or feel rushed. There we go. So I'm going to place that right on top right there. It's all popped up nicely. And I have a piece of cloud cover again, 1/2 inch by, looks like about 3.5 inches. And all I'm going to stamp on this is hello right in the middle. Sounds good. Bye, Lisa. There we go, right like that. Hello. Then I'm going to banner cut just this end over here. So when I banner cut by hand, I just cut up the center and then I go from the corners to the tip of where I cut up just a little bit. There we go. There's my banner cut. I'm going to add this popped up underneath that hello. This definitely gives me boho vibes. What about you guys? That's what I love about this stamp set, is that I really feel like it really does give me boho vibes. Makes me feel like I want to watch the Brady Bunch or something. Okay, so I'm going to cut some dimensionals off the edge of this leftover piece here, add it to the back, and maybe this one that's already kind of cut small here can go in between. Perfect. All right. And then all I need to do is scatter my dots, my matte dots on the top here. Oh, I love this card. Okay. And I used an assortment of colors for the front of this one. I did some yellow and some mossy. There we go. Put another, maybe a petal pink one up here. And another yellow here, and a small yellow, and a small mossy right there. Cute. What do you guys think? Do you like it? And then it sits up like this. They open it up and it diagonal easel folds like that. I love it. I hope you guys do too. Okay, so let's pull out all of my projects for today. This is one of our fun folds. This is our second fun fold. Cute, right? And then these are 2 cards from yesterday, sending good vibes and thanks. So this is our 4 card projects for this week's online card class to go. How do you get it, you ask? Well, let me tell you. You place an order of $50 or more in my online store, and I will send you a kit to make all of these and our 3D project for tomorrow. And if you spend $60, I will throw in a package of the muted dots as well. Okay, so thanks for joining me today. I want to make sure hi Dana, nice to have you here. I've missed you. I'm glad you love it, Kathy. Thanks for joining me, and I will be back today at 4 with a casing through the catalog project using that Extraordinary Flora washi tape. So come back at 4 o'clock Central Time, and then I will be back tomorrow at noon for our 3D project of the week. So God bless everybody. Send me some love, send me some likes, and join me back here at 4 today and at noon tomorrow for the last project of our Boho Vibes online class to go. So bye-bye. Take care.